How y'all doing today? Y'all good?
Fine.
Big lazy.
Big lazy? Yeah, it's the holiday mood. The post-holiday mood. I actually didn't even do anything for the holidays.
Yeah.
Hi everyone! We're the Emperor Smile podcast, here to brighten your day. I am Amy, aka Wi-Fi Daily.
I'm Cali, aka dailyjiangcheng.
And I'm Ruki, aka Bluetooth Daily.
So today's topic, we wanted to thank those who came by our Animal Crossing stream. It was nice. It was an experiment. We tried it. We liked it.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Amy uploaded a highlights video on the channel. It's a lot shorter than the 3-hour stream if you don't want to watch a 3-hour stream, so you can go check that out if you wanna. It's the last. It's gonna be the last episode of the year of the decade. So that's a little impending.
We'll have to see you next year after this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole year since we get to see you guys next.
Oh man, so far away but so close.
Today's topic is that someone had said sometimes it's hard to do what we have to instead of what we want to do, and they asked if we have any advice for balancing duty over fun in a healthy way.
It's pretty important to make sure you set aside time for yourself to have fun, because if you don't do that, you're going to really end up burning yourself out. If you don't make time for yourself, you're going to end up getting really stressed over your things. And even if it's just like an hour or two every week, that would be more than enough to keep you going, because it's important to make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally as well as physically too. It could be as simple as just spending your Sundays watching anime. That's what I do with Ruki. Or playing a game, an MMO. One day out of the week could be more than enough for some people. And when it comes to balancing that, set aside a time limit for yourself, so that way you can still focus on your work when you need to.
Yes.
Work moderately. Make sure that you're actually working. You're not slacking off. If you feel like you can't work, then just take a quick 5 to 10 minute break, but don't drag on the break.
Mm-hmm.
If after the break you feel like you can go back to working, then get back to work, see if you can pick it up again. But if you feel like you just can't work that day, then it's fine. Just don't drag it out too long, because it will go and bite you in the ass. And you don't want to spend most of your days just lounging around being like, I'll do it later, because you'll do it, but it'll be to a point where it starts stressing you out because you haven't given yourself enough time to work on it, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll feel like the end result isn't good enough. So be moderate with what times you do to take a break, or what days you do to take a break, and what days you work, because you don't want to stress yourself out, but you don't want to be lazy in your eyes. You don't want to just constantly be sitting around either.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to find out what works for you and just do a healthy middle. If you feel like you can work a lot of days and take a day off for a break, that's fine. If you feel like you can work most days but you just need a break in between work, that's fine. Just find what works for you and don't stress out about it too much. Your biggest enemy here is stress and anxiety, and you don't want to do that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. For some people, if they really get into that work mood, they can keep on working and get quite a bit done in that certain period of time. But for some other people, it might be better to spread out the work over the days of the week, so that you're doing little bits each day, but it accumulates all into you doing quite a bit of work. So it really just depends on the person. And having that dedicated time each week dedicated to yourself and having fun to just de-stress or relax will do a lot to stabilize your mentality, I guess.
Another thing is very important is to hydrate and to eat while you're working, because I know that
Yes.
Yep.
along with Ruki saying that if you get into the work mode, you will work for hours, and while that's good, it's not good if you dehydrate and if you don't eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
Your stamina is going to run out at some point, whether it be you're an artist, you're a writer, you're actually working, it doesn't matter. You need to eat something, you need to hydrate, or else you're just going to end up just collapsing a tired and dehydrated mess.
You have to keep up so you're still in that good condition as you work, instead of just letting it drain out the entire way way.
Don't work until you're tired. That's pretty important too. I know a lot of people like to stay up to 1 a.m. I am guilty of doing such a thing. But if you work yourself to exhaustion, then you're just going to be exhausted. It's better to stop while you're ahead and then continue the next day.
Work until your body says it's enough. Work until you feel like you're tired. If you even start feeling
That
tired.
is the exact opposite of what I was saying.
What?
Don't work yourself into exhaustion is what I was saying.
No, I'm not saying work yourself until you're exhausted. I'm saying if you do it a moderate time, but if your body starts feeling like it's tired, then you need to stop. I'm not saying work until you're exhausted. Like, if you've been working from 5 to maybe 8 and your body starts saying, hey, I'm tired, I'm hungry, yada yada, then you need to stop, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
At certain points of where you're working, if your body starts getting tired, like, you just need a break, take it. Don't drag it on. Don't make yourself even more exhausted than necessary.
Yeah, listen to your body.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I wasn't saying, oh no, go for it. Go fucking ham.
And an important thing is to, as much as like possible for your current state and condition, work effectively, because if you do let yourself get tired and you keep on working like that, that ends up being more unproductive than if you just took a break and rested and then started again the next day or whatever and continue with a better condition. It's just better to try to work effectively, because then you get your work done quicker that way too, and probably with better results since you did it with while you're not dragged down by fatigue or whatever. So
Sorry, wait. Is that your birds in the background?
Oh, wait, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
You can hear my birds?
Yeah.
I think so. I think I hear them too, actually.
I just heard some squawking and I was like, wait, is that coming from Ruki? No.
Oh, I thought you wouldn't be able to hear them because my door is closed, but I guess they're too loud.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
I've never heard them on a call before with you.
Oh no, they're there. I'm in my game room right now, so.
Say hello to your birdies for me. Sorry, I interrupted you.
What was I saying? Effective work means that it gets done quicker, and then that means you have more time to yourself to just like let loose, be free, have fun.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to use what I want to do as a reward for getting done the things I need to do. So if I wanted to draw or play or read some fan fiction, I gotta finish up reading my textbooks first. And so I use that as a motivation for myself in order to get my work done. That way I can do what I want to do sooner. And sometimes, if it's possible, it depends on the type of work you're gonna do, but you can kind of do a little bit of both in the same time. I like to do work calls with my friends where I stream what I'm drawing, and so I get to talk to my friends and have fun at those times while also getting some things done. If there's a way that you can make it a social event somehow, even if it's like studying together, we've talked about that in a previous episode, that's something that's possible too, where you can still have fun while doing your work.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the audience questions. These two are very related to each other, so I'll just hit them both. The two questions that we got are, what are your favorite Modazushi headcanons? And what are your favorite AUs in the Modazushi fandom? I thought this one might be a fun sort of end of the year question, like kind of looking back and picking out our favorite stuffs to talk about.
I like the AUs that I come across, like little funny ones or whatever, but AUs to me, I don't really stick to one, and some headcanons I like and some I don't. I mostly tend to stick to canon as possible, but some that I do like, though, I do like the idea of Long 1G being scared of bugs.
That one's good.
I really like that one. And there was another one, but I forgot. Well, what was it?
Is it the math one?
Well, yes, that's another one. I think that's more canon, if anything. Lucian being a math god. I'm not sure if that's canon or not.
Well, they never do math.
They don't. Math isn't a thing here, but some math goes into creating shit. Like, there's some science to it.
That's
That's true. One of my headcanons, which is also at the same time low-key an unpopular opinion, I think, but I think Wei Wuxian is a decent cook. It's just that until he like dumps in all that spice, that it turns out bad.
Yeah, I like that headcanon a lot too, especially since it's like he has to be a decent cook since no one else will make things the way he likes it.
So yeah, like he can cook up a decent meal, and if he feels like pitying people and doesn't put spices in it, they're just like, holy shit, he's actually a good cook. But then he just like slaps a whole bunch of spice and they're just like, never fucking mind.
He just goes, "It's not spicy, you guys." That's what my mom does to me.
Oh, I remembered the other one.
What was
What is it?
The other one was Long One G, like, because you know how Wei Wuxian has this thing with dogs?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would be like, oh, you know, they could get, like, maybe a cat instead, you know, along with the bunnies. And no, my favorite headcanon that I saw, it was a small one. The Long One G being allergic of cats.
I roleplay my Wi-Fi daily as allergic to cats because I too am allergic to cats. So I project heavily.
But it's a funny idea.
It's so funny.
It's funny that like Wei Wuxian is deathly terrified of dogs, and Long One G just can't go near cats.
That's a cute one. I like that. One of my favorite headcanons is Wei Wuxian being like a big poetry buff. Like he just loves poetry. And that comes from the story of where he told that flower goddess the poetry, except he always did it badly because he knew the poetry so well that he can do parodies of it. I think he would be a really big fan of poetry for no reason, and I also, in addition to that, think he would definitely write love poems to Lowkey.
Yeah.
And another one, I feel like this is a pretty well-known headcanon, but the 13 Years Inquiry, where Lan Wonji plays Inquiry for 13 years. I'm not a big fan of it being like every single day he plays it, but I do imagine that he played Inquiry a lot in that 13 years time. And I kind of like that a lot.
What if like instead of just playing like every day or every like other day, what if like during these 13 years, Long One G kind of did it as an anniversary, played it once a year?
Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot.
Anniversary when they met.
Oh.
Of either when they met or when Wei Wuxian died.
Or that day that they defeated the Xuan Wu together.
He plays it 3 times.
Yeah. No.
Either of those.
Like, either of those days could work, but I would imagine the more significant ones would be either when he met Wei Wuxian or when Wei Wuxian died. Most likely when Wei Wuxian died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that's a headcanon that is regarded as canon half the time.
Fanon.
But I really like that whole idea of him continuing to try to reach out for Wei Wuxian's soul.
He just wants to know if it's at peace.
Yeah. I do like what the Donghua did, where he played Inquiry not to find Wei Wuxian, but to find out the mystery of why he died.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was very in character. Do we have some favorite AUs that we want to talk about?
Most AUs that come to mind are cursed, so no.
I'm not exactly sure why, but I always have a weakness for social media AUs.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Like, whether it be connected to just like social media by itself, like if they're like YouTubers or like they just use social media, or if they're like celebrities or some sort of famous people who use social media as well. Either of those, I don't know. I just really like those, and I don't know why.
I like them too, because then it feels like you could be watching their lives through their like live tweets and stuff. One of my favorite AUs is merman AUs.
Nice.
I have always loved merman tropes, like either where they're both merman or one of them is merman. I've read fan fictions. I don't know how many merman fics there are, but if you have any recs, please send them to me.
Oh wait, there is an AU that I really like, and I completely forgot about it because I haven't read the fanfic in a while.
Ooh, what is it?
It's the AU where Wei Wuxian's in the Naysec.
Do you remember the name of the fanfic?
The light that fails to dim. The light that fails to dim.
Oh,
there we go.
yeah.
That's a good fanfic. I really like it a lot. I haven't caught up on it because it's been a while.
I've caught up on it.
Wow. Well, I haven't caught up on it because it's been a while, and I haven't read a fanfic in a while, but it's really good. I really like it. Just like reading the adventures of Wei Wuxian being in the Naysec and like things being completely different. It's nice. I really like it. I really like the take that they did on everything.
Can you summarize the premise of it real quick for people who haven't read it?
The short version, to give an idea, is that instead of Youngmin, whatever his name is, finding Wei Wuxian, Mingjue finds him instead and takes him in. And he raises up in the Nei sect with Hui Sung and Mingjue, and it goes on from there. He grows up in that sect instead. And you just follow like the storyline of MDZS, but it has different takes on it. You know, now he's in the Nei sect instead, and he has different relationships with different people. Like with Jiangcheng, for example, he's a lot more closer to Jiangcheng in this one. Because, you know, while Fengmin is still trying to get close to Wei Wuxian, he's not as close, you know, considering he's not like doting on Wei Wuxian constantly like he did when he's in Yunmeng. You know, there's actual space, and Wei Wuxian in this thing is a lot more serious. So like Jiangcheng doesn't feel like he has to constantly compare himself in this case, at least not all the time.
There's also like another fic series where Wei Wuxian got taken into the Lan sect.
Ooh. Is it the one where he's raised as a Kyuren's son?
I believe so.
That one's good too.
Like he's really like close with the twin J's, and like so they kind of become like the three J's instead. Actually, there's like these two recent fics. One was like inspired by the other, but it was based on this AU where Wei Wuxian is able to like hear other people's thoughts or something like that.
Ooh, like a mind reader kind of thing.
Yeah, and then so there's these two fics where like communication with Lan Zhan isn't really an issue because of it. So it's like
that's sweet.
The first one, the original one, is like set during like Gusu's school days. So then basically it's a story about how like Lan Zhan says things like he's irritated at Wei Wuxian, but then Wei Wuxian can actually see that he actually does want to be friends and blah blah blah. And then the other one that was inspired by that one. They decided to set it after Wei Wuxian comes out of the burial mounds. And then so he comes out of there with the ability to like sense people's thoughts or feelings or whatever. So then he realizes that Lan Zhan actually wasn't trying to like condemn him or whatever. He was trying to care for him. So then it goes from there and then blah blah blah. So I like that one too.
Nice.
That sounds nice.
It does.
I can link it if you want.
Hell yeah.
If I can find it.
The last AU that I want to mention is Bunny Wangshan.
Oh yeah.
Just bunnies. That's my whole brand.
Yeah.
Will be my all-time favorite all the time.
It's good content.
It's good content.
Good content.
Do we want to move on to the mindfulness moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can we just did take a water break, but here's a water break for the listeners. All right, Ruki, take it away when you're ready. Do you need us to mute?
You can join in for this one because it's, you know.
Okay.
Because I'm just winging it, yo. One mindful moment goes a long way. Today, I wanted to do something regarding how it's the end of the year and how New Year's is coming up soon. So I just wanted to say that it's almost the end of this year. And I just want to say that we're proud of you for making it this far, getting here, and that you've done well this year.
We did it! We made it!
Congratulations, Shinji!
We made it! The new year will be it's really cheesy, but it really is a new beginning for you to try more things and try, for example, new mindsets. Like there was this tweet that was going on around how like for the upcoming year, let's throw away the whole idea of calling ourselves bad things and stuff and like turn it into something where we're unironically praising ourselves and complimenting ourselves for the new year to get into that positive mindset and like stop degrading ourselves.
Self-love is the new meme of 2020. The first meme. Let's make it happen.
Yes. It may seem a bit hypocritical since I haven't tried or like fulfilled them myself, but New Year's resolutions, maybe instead of doing like big lofty ones that are like really are difficult to do, maybe just like smaller little goals, resolutions that you can be confident that you will be able to fulfill this coming new year. Because if you do make resolutions and then you end up not being able to do them, then that's just bad vibes, bro. So you should try making smaller, more manageable resolutions, because then when you do complete them, because they should be manageable instead of like big impossible ones, then that's an accomplishment. You've done something, you know? It's good to set goals and everything, but try not to go too high, because you can end up.
You don't want to be Icarus.
If you make a big goal for yourself, do consider making smaller goals within that goal, things to help you get to that big goal. A game plan, what you want to accomplish by like the end of the first week of the new year or the end of January. That will help it seem more achievable, so you can attempt the impossible in a sense there.
Just break it up into smaller parts.
To those who don't like to be too overly optimistic, just think of it as another year that you can be filled with spite and turn people
Cali!
over and be like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. Fuck you.
That's one way to think about it. That's
Cali.
Don't Cali me. It's for the people that don't like to be overly optimistic, and I know this because I'm one of them.
It's a very jiangcheng approach. I mean, it works. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It's another year to be filled with spite and to tell people, fuck you, I'm still here.
Fuck you, I lived.
Fuck you. So just go into the year kicking ass, taking no shit, just taking it and being like, I'm here. I'm gonna try my gosh darn diddly best.
Own it.
Own it.
We're gonna end the year strong and start the year strong.
It's 2020. It's the end of the decade. We gotta see what's happening next.
So, thank you for joining us for this episode. This is the 8th episode of the Emperor Smile podcast.
And the last one of the year.
And the last one of the year. You can always send us more questions at our Curious Cats. They will be linked in the video description below. Thank you for supporting us throughout these 2 months that we've been running this podcast so far.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing this even more next year and continuing to bring you guys some laughs.
We look forward to doing this next year, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you next time. Thanks for sharing a laugh with us.
See you next year.
Happy New Year's. Be safe. Don't get too drunk, you bitches. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farewell.